It's not making it like a gender thing. Like I think that people have just lost the quality of just being a decent human being at this point. I think
Mhm.
that it's just being online chronically just makes you point fingers at different genders, but I think it's just like a people thing as a whole. Like we've lost like a sense of moral compass and like, what our goal is. And to me, I just got off of a stream with I don't know if you're familiar, but she's pretty cool. You should have a conversation with her. I'll send you her way.
What's her name?
Erudite. Have you heard of her?
Aerodite. Is she on
N-
YouTube?
It's a girl. Erudite. Maybe I might be saying it wrong. I don't. Her name's actually Kyla, but Erudite. She's very cool. Very really really smart, by the way.
39,000 subscribers.
She's cool with like Destiny and Melina. Like they're all friends and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I did see. I saw her reaction to your video when you confronted Fuckface,
Oh,
and
she did a reaction video. I didn't even know.
yeah.
I need to look at her channel, honestly. We connected together again on Twitter. Twitter, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but my first encounter with her was from Fresh and Fit. Remember my Fresh and Fit situation, like how barbaric it was?
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I'll be honest. I didn't watch the whole thing. I know you and Destiny had some sort of confrontation, or you said something, but I don't know the whole story.
I mean, it's nothing special to talk about, but the
Mhm.
reality is, like, I was again being in that manosphere space. You can't help it but to build up walls and judge other people, especially if they
Yeah.
don't live by your rules and the things that you preach, because you want everyone to live the same way you do. And I think she was there. She was speaking. She's more of like on the mental health. I think she is a therapist. For men. So she's very
Oh,
passionate
good.
about what she does. Yeah, she's really smart. But anyways, I think the first thing you do when you don't understand something or you're intimidated is you shame people, you attack them. And I'm not saying just because I'm trying to be funny, but it's just reality. So after the show, I think like a lot of people on TikTok were asking me like, "How is this? How is that? Why didn't you talk like that? You didn't talk enough." And you feel like you have to give people an answer, so you make up all these excuses or you start attacking
Hmm.
people,
Okay.
and I think I know that's what I resulted to because I wasn't educated enough to be sitting there and talking to people. I was
Mhm.
just being super unhinged and trying to make humor out of ignorance. I think that's also another tactic that I used to do, was just attack people when I didn't understand them. So I did that. I was making crazy comments about her, about Destiny, about Melina.
Mhm.
Um, but I guess like for them, like they've been in the streamer world for a long time, so they're used to having people say mean things to them. Um,
It is
but I
weird,
what?
like to get people like to insult you because sometimes I see Destiny, and for those who don't know, Angela, she's I guess a content creator. She speaks on relationships, improvement in yourself, taking accountability, and she's lately been on this tour. Like she's collaborated with Destiny and a few high profile people because of some certain events that I've been very vocal on my channel about. But yeah, I mean, having people, I guess it kind of ties to this question here. Like, what's your advice for dealing with some toxic people in the comment section when you have an unpopular opinion or hot take on movies? Because again, I think Angela and I have been, especially Angela as of late, has been dealing with that, and I have as
Hmm.
well. I'll let you answer that question first. Like, how do you deal with
I think
that?
like it goes back to, do you have good people around you? And like to me, the people around me that I put in my circle, they're my moral compass. So when the people around you that are telling you like you're okay, you're doing the right thing, to me they mean the most. They're on the priority things that I do care about. And then you look at the comment section, and there's always gonna be people who don't agree with you, but the question is how many people don't agree with you. If there's too many people and the people that are in your circle are just kind of biting their tongue because they don't want to offend you, then you're the fucking problem.
Yeah.
But if you look around and it's just like the quality of people that don't agree with you, it's for me, I used to hate them, but now I kind of pity them because I know where they stand in life now. If you don't agree with me, it just tells
Mhm.
me you're not developed in your thoughts or anything.
Hold on one second. I'm putting you on the speakers for everybody on TikTok. So 1 second.
You can
Say
do
something.
that.
Yeah.
Hello, hello. Testing 1 2 testing.
Yeah. I can hear you loud and clear. Now you're on the speaker so people on my phone can hear you.
Oh.
And I tested it last night with my friend on Monday with Mariana. So your voice doesn't come in the mic. It sounds like a normal stream.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. I think it's echoing though.
Oh, let me turn it down then. Talk now.
Hello, hello. Testing 1 2 testing. Okay, that's cool. I can hear
Okay. If you
myself.
can hear the echo, then let me know and I'll turn it off because you do have a higher voice, like a than her
Is
than
it
she did.
is my mic too hot? I can turn it down lower.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I've I've been having audio issues lately. It's just been funky. I don't know what's going on. I maybe have to restart my laptop or something. Who knows?
You're fine. But you're saying the comments is like more or less how to deal with them and have like a circle of people in your life is how you
Yeah,
do it?
you gotta feel out the ratio. Like if the people around you are saying that you're doing fine, and the people in my life don't enable me, like the people in my life hold me accountable for when I'm wrong, and vice versa. I do the same thing for them. So the people that are immediately in your circle, they're saying, "No, you did the right thing. You needed to do that." The vast majority of people in your circle saying you did the right thing. You have like a couple of trolls and troglodytes just saying, "Oh, you're a piece of shit." Like, look at the quality of their life. Look at the 5 scallywags that are saying that, as opposed to the 500 people that are saying you're doing the right thing. So
Hmm.
it's just rationalizing the numbers and the purpose behind all the attacks. Once you realize like it's just personal and it's like anecdotal why they don't agree with you, like I pity them. I step away
Yeah.
from it. Yeah.
You know what's funny? Because I have friends who do movie reviews right on YouTube, and they're pretty famous, like 500K subs, 100K subs, and they're well known in the movie space. And we've all admitted to ourselves that we get immune to the praise because, like you said, there's like 1,000 praises on your comments and how you do things, but then that one negative comment, for whatever reason, it just resides with us. And I don't know if that's just we've grown numb to the praise or what, but that happens a lot. And some of them have had to deal with letting that. How do you linger? How do you get that off yourself? And how do you let it go? And a lot of them have just chosen to ignore the comments. That's why some of these large creators who have millions of followers never engage in the comments, because it's only just more than likely it'll end bad.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it does, but it doesn't. It really depends. Like I think the algorithm is truly catered to what you project out. And just because you don't see it, it doesn't mean that you aren't projecting it. And I think like whenever I look at the comment section and it's too negative, then maybe I'm saying something and I'm not clarifying it enough, or maybe the audience that I'm pushing it to, it doesn't necessarily fit it. Like you can't go from talking about like crimes all day long and then talk about unicorns. Like they're obviously going to go rage in the freaking comment section. And I
Yeah.
think like sometimes you stay within a niche and you want to jump out of it, you end up kind of hurting yourself. So I think that's why I'm more so focused on like branding like myself,
Hmm.
and what I stand on, so that I could speak about certain like different topics, like relationships, and it goes from men, it goes to women, it goes to sort of mental health, but it's also super anecdotal, sometimes stats. Like I don't want to be stuck to just talking about just only men.
Right.
um, so I think that's important to recognize that. And to a certain degree, yeah, the comment section can be pretty brutal. But did you do something different? Did you change the topic?
Hmm.
Are you challenging their views? Are you completely wrong? Like, why is it that they're opposing? I think it's important to recognize that, because
Yeah.
if you're doing this for a living and you get rage comments all the time, you're the problem. Like,
Hmm.
then you should probably change your topic or your algorithm or the people you're engaging with. And yeah, that's just what I think. What about you?
Hold on. Everybody, I told everybody to go to YouTube, and somebody said, "No, I'll just block you." I'm like, "Okay, well, if you don't want to answer, you don't want me to answer your question, then fuck you." God, yeah. Everybody who's watching on YouTube, I tried having Angela on the speaker, but it's just like it's not working. So if you want to hear the conversation, I'm going to end the live on TikTok. Go to YouTube, and we're going to be on for a while. But thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Love you all. Laters. Good night. I'm live on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. So I was live like on 6 platforms, and trying to manage that sometimes can get kind of tough. I don't know how. I mean, I know the bigger shows have like people that help them with that, like a producer to filter the comments, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. Actually.
As long as I've been doing this ish, I am so sloppy about it. Like I don't have like right now I'm streaming with you, and I think I'm only streaming on YouTube. I don't even share it to my Twitter or my
Mhm.
Instagram. I don't know why. Like it's just not really a priority. I should, but I think like I'm still trying to figure out my footing in this space, so I don't want to attract too much unnecessary attention and then like people think that I'm grifting now. So yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know. I just pretty much just rather find my voice with my 5 people that know me the way it is. I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, people want to hear from you. Definitely. That's why you're being asked to be on these shows. And again, thank you for just hanging out. I know you've been doing this whole tour, and I know what you've been talking about. I don't even know if you want to bring it up here. If you don't, that's fine. But
But
again, just thanks for coming and hanging out.
oh, well, you know me, I'm pretty open about most of the things that goes on in my life, unless it's, personal things that I
Of
keep
course.
like discreet. But for the most part, I don't really have anything to hide. And right now my week is like fucking crazy. Like every night I have something going on every day. It's
That's
always
good.
like a new stream. So it's been a lot for me to like I have to calendar everything now, and it's been nice, but I have to recognize like why. Like one thing I've definitely noticed in these spaces, like people are always gonna want you there, but you have to know why you're there. So a lot of the girls
Yeah.
on these panel podcasts, like why are you there? You're there to be eye candy, and you're there because you're an easy target. Are you actually there to be heard? Probably not.
Mhm.
So I'm going these shows with people, and I've asked myself like, what's my goal? What's my agenda? To fix my past, to deliver a message, to point out something. Like, what is your goal? And are
Mhm.
you actually making the impact? Did you leave feeling better, or did you leave feeling like, damn, this was stupid, I just wasted more time? So
Yeah. And
yeah.
I hear you. And be more selective on what shows you go on, I think is a great approach. Because, like you said, I know you mentioned this many times on many of the shows you've been on. It's frustrating because you have a voice and the opinion, but you're scheduled with 10 other people. There's not even a chair for you on the main table, and you're only given like 5 seconds to speak, and can't even rebuttal your point. So, yeah, those shows
it's
are trash.
hard.
Yeah, it's
So
really hard.
recently I've mentioned and I said it, I think I have to keep saying it until it becomes a thing, because when you like something, you do something, you want to know that you're doing it right. You're looking for some sort of validation that you're doing the right thing. So when you
Mhm.
have people saying like, come on my show, you should go on this show, you think it's an opportunity, but again, in reality is it's not. So I've mentioned that I'm not doing those panel podcasts anymore because
Good.
I'm not getting the impact that I want leaving there, and I'm not going to like shit on somebody when that's their source of entertainment. Like a lot of these shows, it's entertainment, and I don't like their subscribers. I don't like their demographic. So I'm not going to sit there and challenge myself, because you're just going to sit there in like an echo chamber. And these people are arguing in bad faith. There's no actual real moderator there. And people are just pretty much like arguing their points, and they don't want to hear you. Like if you said something like, Angela, I think men deserve 10 wives, even though I don't agree with that, I'd be like, okay, Rudy, can you please like break down what you mean when you say that? Because I know there's 10 people in this room, but I want to know why you think one person deserves 10 person. Now I will actually want to talk about this because maybe other people want to understand you. But at
Mhm.
these spaces, they don't allow that. It's more so like for clickbait shit. So they'll say outlandish things, and if you're not witty enough to catch what you're saying, you're gonna get cut into pieces. So
Yeah.
I'm aware of it now. So it's not fun for me to be there in any way, whether for the creator or for myself, because I'm aware that you're asking me these aha questions. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to give you the answer you're looking for. So now your entertainment show is turning into a vanilla show. So why would I do that to myself? Fuck that. Hey,
Yeah.
CP, the artist, it's great seeing you here.
Oh, fan?
Yeah. Wait, you know him too?
No, I don't. I
Oh,
know a
yeah.
friend named CP, but that's not CP, the one that I know. Thought you knew him.
Yeah.
I guess for if I can provide answers for the negative comments is like I have to remember they're not really mad at me. They're mad at through their own lens, their own perspectives. They say whatever they have to say, and it's usually faceless cowards. It's usually the faceless profiles. There's no avatar. I mean, there's an avatar. There's never their picture. It's always like a Dragon Ball Z or Michael Myers picture, or just their initials. So if they're faceless cowards and they're hiding behind a keyboard and insulting people, which I think are the biggest cowards ever. I can't
Yeah.
stand that. So it doesn't really bother me. It did for a while when I first blew up on TikTok. I remember I had never had that type of attention before, so I did take it personal. But after a while, I just had to step away. Like, no, they're not talking about me. I mean, they're just reacting. They don't know the whole story, and I don't have the best time to explain to them why they're wrong. So I let it go, and that's why I'm not really that engaged on TikTok anymore. It's because the comments I really don't respond to as many because it's a waste of time. Everybody has their beliefs and their opinions, and you're not going to change it. You're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, you're not going to change everyone's mind, but I think like it's made me, maybe this is my own personal method, like more aware of what type of audience I'm trying to talk to.
Mhm.
So I think in the beginning, a lot of women didn't like me because I was very harsh and very aggressive and super judgmental. And with my approach nowadays, I've been able to weed out the younger people who don't really want to hear it. I don't really care to talk to them because it's like I could say all the things and you don't want to hear it because you want to victimize yourself. But more
Right.
so like the women who usually didn't agree with me now agree with me, and the guys who also that were like actual men who weren't looking to victimize themselves now are like, now your ideas are a little bit more rational. I could talk to you and not feel like I'm debating with a child. Like the days where you were talking to me about body count, bless your
Mhm.
soul for entertaining me for that stupid ass topic, because these conversations that I have nowadays, I don't have time to go back into those type of topics. I don't really care to talk about that because that's for kids. That's literally for people that are in college and high school talking about that. That doesn't fit into my demographic. So it's been different.
Real quick, Johnny here. Thank you for your advice, Rudy. It really helped me. It really had helped me a lot. Well, good, man. Well, you see, I love hearing that. That makes me feel good. And believe it or not, I'm an emotional guy. When I hear nice things like this, it gets me emotional. So thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. I'm comfortable enough to share that.
Yeah.
So,
oh, Anna, thank you, Anna. Appreciate you.
See, real quick, to the both of you, don't become immune to the praise. Good advice. Good advice. Definitely. Oh, and a super chat. Oh, well, thank you so much, Albert. I want something to discuss. Google joking with, I don't know what that is.
Slapperazzi.
And read what a double standard looks like. It's the article from an Aussie paper, The Age. I will definitely check that out. All right, definitely will. Thank you for the super chat, though. I really do appreciate the support.
Woot woot.
And I think you're badass, Angela. I love you. Hey, I'm from San Antonio, Texas.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah. And let's see here. What else do we have? Did I miss anything here? The body count discussion is redundant for a while. There's other things to go into a good relationship besides that. Yeah, that's a question no one's ever, one, you'll never know the truth. And two, I've never even thought about asking it. It's just a stupid topic. I can't stand it.
I think it's stupid only because like once you get to a certain age, it's irrelevant because at a certain age, you're just more so like, can I just find someone to love me? But like when you're younger and you ask these people these types of questions, you're looking for anything to ridicule them on. So that's like the easiest thing to like penalize a woman for. Do I think you should go unhinged and just fuck everyone you meet? Hell no. But I highly doubt at 45 or whatever age people are nowadays. Yeah, like no one's gonna be like, have you slept with like X? No, it's more so like, do you love me? Can we build together? Are you healed? Do you want to get healed together? Like, what is it? Like, those are things that we should talk about instead of talking about how many people you slept with. Like, it's getting old.
Yeah, and back in my day, like I said, it was reputation. If she had a rep that she dated a lot of you, that was kind of like the equivalent of a body count confirmation. But that's when you're younger and you're insecure with yourself because you're comparing, well, she's probably had bigger guys and I can't compete. Yeah. You're just so insecure with yourself. But yeah, body counts, that's a redundant conversation. So, super chat. Let's see.
Oh, just Jerry.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Are you familiar with him? I see Jerry everywhere. I will never know how Jerry actually looks like. I'm assuming maybe that picture looks like him. Maybe it's an AI version of him. I'll never know. But Jerry, I see you everywhere. I see you literally everywhere. Even on the enemy's chat. But I get it. I get it. I think he has a very open mind, so I'll support that idea.
Very cool. I looked him up. I don't see anything on YouTube. Must be just like a Twitter account or something like that. I don't know. Well, cool. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate that, dude. But yeah, I mean, so again, I saw the tomfoolery live that you were on last week, and I saw you reacting to some videos, and I have to admit, I applaud you because I don't know if you want to get into it or not, but
yeah. Shoot away. I mean, it's gonna be I think I've only really spoken about it with you now, with Tom, and earlier with Kyla. So I haven't like ranted off. Like, and I only really talk about it when people bring it up. Like, I don't really sit here and just keep spewing it like as much as I should. But I'm like, it's getting kind of fucking annoying at this point. But it's a genuine question, and I get it. Like, you can't get mad at people for actually being curious because, people aren't actually going through it the way I am. And I'm getting like the major heat side of it, but I'm also getting the super awesome side of it of people that are telling me their experiences with him and the space itself. So I see a lot of pros as opposed to cons. And if the pros weighs out and the cons are not as bad, like I don't really give a shit about the effects that it's done. So
yeah. And again, what happened? I guess you want me to tell it? I'll tell it, I guess. But it kind of ties to Celine's comment here. You did great shutting down MLD on Valuetainment, especially talking about in specific white guys who get their passports and go for women who can't speak English. But what happened was Angela was on Valuetainment the week prior, and this guy, I remember watching the live, he insulted her. MLD, he called her some names in the chat. And again, the chat is there. And when somebody with a check mark says something, it kind of stands out. So I remember seeing it. And
you saw it? You saw that?
Yeah. because
Oh,
it was
shit.
like a 4 women, including yourself, talking about financial, gain and dating, right?
Mhm.
That was, yeah, and it was a great podcast, and I love that. Loved Adam, the host,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
saw it, but I didn't get a screenshot of it, but I saw it. And then you told me about it, and then you confronted him and just, hey, why did you call me this? And he played dumb, like he didn't know. And according to him, it was an ambush. You're not that important, dude. But anyway, you called him out on his bullshit. And like anybody, it's kind of like when you call out a cheater. Let's not even talk about him. When you call out, when you bust a cheater, how do cheaters normally react? They
I
play dumb, right? Like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. They repeat your question. They go into fight or flight mode, and he went into fight or flight mode and took off. Like, he shut
Yeah.
down. So I was a cop at one point, so I'm a master at reading body language. And when somebody's guilty, their body tells you everything. And he can claim what he wants to claim, that he didn't know, he didn't remember. His face, his body movement, and everything he said tells me he knew, and he got busted. So he walks off stage after you confront him. He says he didn't know anything. And then he goes on pretty much a tirade on social media, insulting you, calling you all these names, and just going out of his way to embarrass you.
Can we just ignore the fact that he's currently DMing me right now as we speak?
Is he?
He's currently DMing me as we speak. Like,
what is that fucker saying?
What irritates me the most about this is like he's trying to like, how do I say this? Like, what do you find like an alliance between us? The fact that we're both set up, like, buddy, there's no set up, and the fact that 24 hours ago you were just spewing about how much of a disgusting fat bitch I am, and then 8 hours later you're still retweeting these hateful comments to me.
Yep.
Like on Twitter, he still like it's like you made the video, you're still shitting, and you're still like retweeting the angry shit. But at 3 a.m. you send me this DM saying like, let's make peace. Like you want to apologize and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, fine. And I was so civil about it. I think I sent you the screen recording.
So he's texting you saying he wants to make peace, and this was back when it happened or recently?
All right, so he made this 5-hour video thing at like I was on the thing with Tom last night. It was like 11 p.m. So around that time, he made this like 5-hour video about how everyone set him up, the world's out to get him, whatever. Mm-hmm. And at 3 a.m. is when I finished the live with Tom. I saw this guy DM'd me, but I was like, I'm not going to open this message right now. I'm too tired to respond. I'm going to go to bed. I woke up and it was still there. And I was like, fuck, I was hoping the guy would just unsend it. And it's still there. So I read it and it's like, you're trying to make peace with me, but you publicly dragged me. So if you're going to publicly drag me, you need to own up to this shit publicly.
Right.
Why do you get to like apologize in discretion when you were disgusting to me publicly? So I told him, I sent you the screen recording of the actual conversation, because in this space, one thing like people always say is like, oh, like you're making it up. Oh, I need the receipts. Oh, it's screenshot. It could be edited. So I send people live recordings and I don't give a shit, because you know what it is? I think that me trying to be noble to people that aren't being noble, it ends up infuriating you, and it makes you feel like it's like pouring water in the ocean. I deal with people who are genuine. I'll be genuine, but if you're being disingenuous, I shall be back with you. I don't need to be honest and noble with people that are snakes. You're right. So his intention was to like form an ally after all this shit, because I don't really know like the motive behind it. If I had to assume, and I'll be nice by saying it's an assumption, it's just the fact that he's trying to reboot his career, and like everywhere he goes, he's known as the guy who sit indoor and the guy who quote unquote walked off the set. And he can't revive from that. So to me, it's like, I don't have any mercy in the fact that you can't publicly apologize to me. If you could at least publicly own up to your shit, the fact that, yeah, you know what? I've never been confronted this way. I didn't know how to react. I fucked up. Maybe it's a bad habit that I shouldn't be running my mouth this way. I would be completely fine. It's like, to me, you could have said anything. You could have said I drove weird. You could have said I walked funny. You could have said I talked weird. You could have said my mom was ugly. You could have said anything. I would have still confronted you on it, because I don't like the fact that it's such a coward thing to type on the keyboard and not own up to your shit. So again, my thing was like, own up to your shit so you don't do it again, because you're making it a pattern of like being disgusting, and you're teaching other people to be this way, because you're constantly perpetuating to them that women are garbage when you're garbage. Your garbage activities are a reason why women are acting this way. It's a response to how you are. Right. So long story super short, the DM was just kind of like, I want to make peace. I'm trying to be civil with you. I was like, we're a little past civil. Like you don't like cut somebody's body up in pieces and they'd be like, you know what? I didn't need to do that. I could have just told you I didn't like you. We're a little past that, buddy. And the
Yeah.
fact that you're doing it for all the wrong reasons because you want to I don't know, like make amends with the weirdest people because he's burnt bridges with literally even Adam. He's talking shit about Adam.
I
Adam
saw
is
that the host of the Valuetainment,
like,
right? He said that he contributed to the ambush and he doesn't
and that's
trust them,
so
right?
fucked up because like Adam
Yeah.
has nothing to do with this. And let's even if you had an assumption, like in the reality in the debating world, if you don't have facts and proofs and stats to back up your shit, you can't just go around stating these things. But now it's just like a whole it's like you're talking shit. It's a defamation thing at this point. You can't do that. You have to have proof as to why you assume these things. And it is Adam's show, but like Adam honestly does not pick sides. It's just not his character to be that way. And if you're gonna shit on someone for being naive, like that's a terrible way to like shit on somebody. I'm sorry, like this guy didn't pick sides. I don't blame him. If Adam picked my side, I would feel like shit. I didn't need Adam to pick my side. I just needed him to be mutual, like neutral about everything, because I know what I was standing on is the truth. And this guy seemed like he wanted Adam to like back him, even though Adam did stick his neck out. And now he's talking shit about Adam, and I just like it's so disappointing to see that because to me it's like, dude, you really don't trust anyone because you live a fraudulent life. Stop living so fraudulent so you don't have to hate everyone and suspect that everyone's being a piece of shit. So yeah, it's weird still calling me all these like ridiculous names after you're a man who's gotten more work than me. Like you've gotten hair transplant, you've got veneers, you've gotten lipo, you've rented cars to flex on people. Like you've done all these things to flex out, and like now we still don't like you because your personality is shit. It's it's the cheapest thing, you know, is your personality, and you can't even afford to be a good person. And now you're trying to make amends with me. So I don't really have anything to say to this guy. Like it's just so weird. Like if you're not gonna publicly apologize to me, I'm good. No, I take it back. I don't need the public apology. I need the public accountability. Fuck that.
And if he says he's a man, like he claims to be, that should have been day one, like owned up to it. Like you said, like if he just said, yeah, I called you fat. I mean, I was just, you know, whatever. At least he owned up to it at the beginning, which again, you're not. He's an idiot for saying that. But at least if he owned up to it, I think that everything would have been squashed and fine. But again, I hate bullies. I've been very vocal about that. I hate bullies, especially people who punch down and they have a larger following and they can command, you know, idiot minions to go and attack and do whatever, you know, dig up your history and try to do whatever they can to embarrass you. The fact that I saw that and I saw a lot of the people in the red pill space retweeting what he was saying or not holding them accountable, but just like kind of just seeing it. It's like watching somebody get beaten up and not jump in and help them. It's like, fuck you. Fuck all of y'all. I lost complete respect for Tomasi, him. There's only one person in the red pill space that I like, and that's my friend Paul. But everybody else, they're fucking clown shoes. They're jokes. And everything they say as far as, you know, women are emotional beings. They need to be accountable. They need logic. And when one of your fucking own isn't accountable, acts emotional, and goes on a tirade to ruin somebody's reputation because they called you out and you didn't man up and just own up to it, there's no merit. There's no merit or foundation in anything they say. Anything they say is weightless. I had planned on collaborating with some of these because some of them are respected through some other circles, but no, they're full of shit. No, it's a shit show. It's nothing. And he's shown, I don't care what he posts, what cars he's in, what suits he wears, how he looks, the money he flashes. All of that is a fucking disguise. And it's a cover up to show the lack of character that he actually has. And I actually thought he did have character. So, but I'm not surprised because many people have disappointed me in my life.
Yeah, I think like now when I moved here to Miami, like everyone in my family, even myself, like a part of me was just kind of like, damn, I'm going to be exposed to this ridiculous like materialistic lifestyle. Like at the back of my mind, I know I'm strong enough to not fall into it, but at the same time, what if I have to participate in it to get where I need to get? Right. And ever since being in this space, like for me, it's definitely noticing like never meet your superhero or never meet your hero in any way or whoever it is you look. Because once you find out the inner workings behind a lot of these content creators, it's such a big disappointment to find out that majority of them have no moral compass, and a lot of them are doing it for the right reasons. And it's just disgusting. And I continue to say that because I'm trying to be civil when I say it's disgusting, because you know the old me, I could be very disgusting when it comes to this thing, but then I recognize like I'm being no fucking different than them. I'm not saying that I'm a good holy person, but you should at least strive to be it. and you should be at least consistent with it. And I don't like the way I was before. Like I used to be super judgmental with people. I used to be mean. I used to shame people all the time just because I didn't like what they did. But to a certain degree, like once you grow the fuck up, you have to denounce these things. You have to take account. Like I was just on the stream with Kyla, and her husband did not like me because he saw my interaction. So he was just like, he was very mean, which completely understandable. And he apologized. Really? Oh yeah, but I don't blame him. Like I tell you, I don't. Not even an ounce of me even feels like, oh fuck that. He was understandably thinking that I was grifting, which a lot of people would assume that I am. Which is, I told earlier, like I don't mind people thinking that because I get it. It's such a 180 shift. But also like I've had my reasonings, and I broke it down on her stream on why I made such a drastic change. But like for him seeing who I was before and seeing who I am now, he was like, it's bullshit. What are the odds of her changing her views on the manosphere? And now the manosphere is falling apart. I'm one of the reasons why the manosphere is falling apart. That's why, like
of course,
I'm a living testament of why it's falling apart. I'm one of the pillars and whatever the fuck it is. So I know why I stand on what I stand, just because everybody here is a piece of shit in this space in specific. The mainstream idea, I'm sure there's an underground part of it that nobody knows about. We're obviously not talking about them, but the mainstream, that when you hear red pill manosphere, who do you think about? These assholes that I've directly dealt with, and they're all garbage.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, disappointing. Shout out to Jerry. Shout out to Jack, this is my friend Rudy. I told him I was gonna hop on after this. If you're still awake, we'll talk afterwards. But Jack he's such a bright kid. Like I know so many people that could potentially follow the red pill stuff, but like he chooses to be the anomaly, chooses to be, a productive thinker and not follow what other people do. And I love that so much. I wish more people were like him. And I'm sure there's great people out there. They just don't speak about it, or they're just not online. And these are the people that I wish, got more light, or got to talk to people or creators that would give them the time to explore their thoughts or their questions. Instead, we're sitting here in the echo chamber talking about body count and stupid shit.
Yeah. There's old school advice that my dad told me, and anybody who's old school, I'm talking the older gents, they always say this, be a leader, not a follower. And that means a lot of things. In other words, it means think for yourself. Don't be a mindless sheep, make up your own mind and be your own man, whatever that may be in your space. And there's not enough young men, I think, that are hearing that. And like you said, they're trapped in these echo chambers. They want their thoughts to be confirmed by other people in their space. So there's too many followers nowadays, not enough men. And that's sad. But you did mention what's his face didn't message you, and you did send me the video. You don't want to share that here, do you? No?
Yeah, you can share it.
You sure? Okay. The thing is, how do I do that? His last name is Hogwood.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I don't know how to share it. Let's see. IG chat. Let me download this real quick and
do you
upload
think
it.
It's a serious question though. By sharing it, does not make me a bully. Like, genuine question. I think talking about it is one thing, but do you think that I'm a piece of shit by approving it and by saying that? Are we doubling down on the ignorance by doing that? It's just my genuine question.
Well, if it's from a character standpoint, I understand. And maybe we shouldn't, because then we'd stoop as low as he did. But I don't know.
Struggle, complete struggle. I think like I have it just to have the receipts, because I'm big on receipts, because I know like the world is a shitty place and you should be able to back up in case of anything. But I think like for no reason at this point, maybe I'm just tired of doubling down.
I won't share it.
Yeah, maybe like I don't want to give people any more ammo to I don't know, to just be this way. Like I think like it'll be a never ending war. And at this point, to be really honest, I pity at the fact like I don't know who raised this person and what type of friends he surrounds himself with, to where he could sit with himself and be this way and act this way and be two-faced. One part he's like trying to apologize, and then the other fact he's calling me a fucking whale. And I'm like, dude, at least I didn't get lipo. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So, I'm just gonna read that first sentence. Can I read the first sentence?
Sure.
He says, I did my response to all this to defend myself and my image. What a piece of shit. That's all I'm going to say. What a piece of shit, man.
I think everyone's coping with a really weird way to defend themselves. And like, to me, the things I've had to say and do, to me, that was my defense mechanism. And at this point, everything that needs to be said has already been said. And you had your chance to publicly own up to your shit, and you don't want to, you don't feel like you need to, then you're reaching out to me for what? For what reason? Because
Yeah.
you're used to manipulating people who are impressionable. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm so past this point and seeing what they've done to me in that space, all of them. They have lost my respect, and thank God I'm a nobody to them, because it doesn't matter that I've lost, the respect, because they don't really care about my opinion. They only care about the airheaded bimbos that come on their shows, apparently. So,
Yeah.
that's their value in life. It's a hard pass for me. So,
Well, and again, we won't share, but we'll move on. And I'm just glad I read that first sentence, because when I read it, you should have seen my face when you sent it to me earlier. I'm like, this piece of shit, man. And
Rudy,
again,
you're like I mean, you're the same age as one of the people in my life that I respect. So it's like I look up to you in that sense, where I'm like, you're like the uncle dad figure. So to me, it's like I don't feel like a lot of people were saying like, oh, simp. I'm like, dude, he's like my uncle. Get the fuck out of here with this shit.
Yeah.
So
and what does simp mean anyway? Isn't that somebody who gives women money online or something like that? I mean,
I don't know the exact definition, but it's just basically like you're sharing more love than the other person's giving. So, I mean, anyone could be a simp, in my opinion. A woman could be a simp, a guy could be a simp. But basically, you're giving me all the attention, and I'm just feeding off of your.
that bullshit. Okay.
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Anyway, Albert, thank you for the super chat. Most red pill gurus are neither alpha or red pilled. Okay, red pill simply means to seek the truth, like Neo in the Matrix. That's it. The rest is crap. Yeah, I get that. And again, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. It's like I don't want to bring up Catholicism, but like religion, something like that. I mean, in itself, it's good stories and good stuff to learn, and you kind of build your life around. But there's people that weaponize it, like the those evangelists that give me your money and send prayers, and they're living in mansions and all that stuff. They're just kind of weaponizing a truth to for their own financial gain, and that's what they're doing. And again, I hate comparing religion to the other, but it's the same shit. Same thing. Jack, okay, let's see. What did I miss here? There's tons of comments. Yeah, it's like hogwood, and like that fucking makes perfect sense. Let's see. So you support women in the manosphere. They advocate for women to not be in the space. What I must have missed the beginning of that.
And then they're just having a little debate in the comment section.
Yeah, okay. They get attacked for it and shamed off their accounts because it's a movie. Okay, that's interesting.
Wait, are you looking for the super chats? Because isn't that where the starred number?
Oh, Rudy, what the hell? Damn it! Thank you. I see. I'm multitasking. You see, I'm a horrible multitasker. Like I said, there's 4 platforms that I'm live on. So
to make sure. I'm not that smart at this, but like I could be wrong.
Yeah. The pastor from the Whatever podcast is a D-bag hypocrite, in my opinion. He says no woman with 100 body count. No woman with 100 body count, but doesn't call out MLD for the alleged 250. Wow, that much? I don't care. But
I need receipts to see the 250 body count. I'm like, you may be confusing that with.
He probably paid for those 250, but I don't think they're like he hooked up with them.
Pocket pussy doesn't count, but
yeah, that doesn't count either. Yeah, I know what pastor he's talking about, and in my opinion, I don't want to say I hate the church, but some of the biggest pieces of shit I've ever met in my life are pastors or people of church or men of God. I can't stand those types of people. I've never met a good person in my life in that space. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but yeah, I hear what he says, and the fact that he's on that platform is very sketchy to me. Like, I don't like that. It doesn't show a lot of moral character to be on that show. So
who is that? There's a pastor on the Whatever pod?
The whole Endure clip. You remember when the guy says there's no such thing as divorce? No, that guy.
Wait, the young kid? He was pretty young. That was a pastor?
I think I know that's what he's talking about. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
What?
Yeah, let's see if I can find that clip. Tube.
He was a kid.
I mean, I guess like a kid.
Kids can be pastor, I guess. I don't really know what they have to do, but I mean, I guess.
Endure comment. Let's see. Endure use. It's this guy here. Let me see. Share screens.
It sucks because it gives like such a bad rep on like religion, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's that guy in the middle. That guy.
Oh, he's a pastor?
Yep. You have to endure that guy.
Oh no, that sucks because he has a very like. And he doesn't have a very open mind. I don't really like that about him. I think that you can have your own beliefs, but you should have an open mind so you can understand other people. So maybe you could teach them something, maybe they could teach you something. If you're only going to sit there in your echo chamber, you're only going to get people that only agree with you. So what impact are you making? You're not making no fucking impact. So I don't really get it. I don't think he's a pastor though. I think he's like,
I could be wrong, but he's always preaching every time. The clips I remember, I was trying to find the Endure clip, and I remember he was there. He was talking about God a lot.
Oh no, like, he's like hardcore into the Bible and super into God, which is cool. Like, I'm glad for you, buddy. But like, can we talk about some real talking points that we could actually back up? And it's not that I discredit them. I just think that he's not relatable. So, see, Jack says it.
Okay, yeah. There's people out there who know more about that space than I do. I hardly watch that show. And again, when I do try to find reaction videos or clips and I search through those videos or watch it, I can feel my brain getting smaller. It's so aggravating to hear idiots just talking about things and like, hey, what would you rate yourself? Like, what podcast host is going to ask his female guest, rate yourself from 1 to 10? What do you think? Like, oh God, this is like high school locker room fucking jargon. It's idiocy.
Dude,
it's stupid.
Who are you telling? Man. I'm engaged and I was on those shows, and when they're asking me, what is it, the last sexual encounter I had and how many people I've been with and what do I rate myself, I was like, what? I was looking at him like, do you want to pull out this, like the height scale and see how tall you actually are? What's your credit score? What's your bank account looking right now? These such like dehumanizing questions, because it's like, yeah, you're gonna sit there and judge a woman on that. That's fine, but let's judge you on shit that also hurts too, since you want to do this. So
yeah. Good move for not sharing. It's only validating why I tune into your content, Rudy. Thanks for being a stand-up. Well, it didn't feel right. And again, I appreciate that. And I know Angela had some hesitations, and we both felt the same way. I wanted to, because I know maybe the audience wants to see that, but no, there's just, I can't.
It's tricky. So it's, like being a content creator, like you want to tend to what people want. But you have to understand, like for me, learning, the audience is always going to look for entertainment, but it's your show, and you either have to lead it to the sense where like we're having some sort of moral compass here. Yes, it's entertainment, but at the same time, like I don't want to sit here and like create this like bullshit dopamine of only bullshit entertainment, of like, oh look what I did here, double down asshole mode. Like, yeah, I still think he's a piece of shit. I think what he's doing is stupid, but I think at this point he's trying to cope by messaging me and all this stuff, and like it's just sad. I think like that's just I'm just gonna close the situation. He can continue talking all his shit. I'm just not gonna look anymore, and it's poor guy, but I hope he finds peace in his life, and I hope he redirects his goals in life, because he hasn't come about it the right way.
Okay, Albert, again, thanks for the super chat again. I don't know who she is.
Who's that?
Yeah, I'm gonna look her up. Is she on YouTube? Let me just type it real quick.
Karen. Albert get all the sauce.
Okay.
Is Albert your guy? This is
no, I don't know. I don't know who Albert is. I mean, I haven't seen his avatar before.
I don't know where Albert's coming from at it, because I just combined. I'm streaming from my YouTube also. That's all I know right now.
Okay,
so I don't know if this is your people or my people.
I think it's yours, because there's a little icon that's like it's not listed next to their name. So I think that's what it is.
Oh, well, shout out to Albert then.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So Rudy's reading. Karen Strog, I can't say her name, is a divorced mother.
I think it's Strahan or something, but girl writes what? This is what anti-feminist looks like. I guess I'll check it out. Yeah. I don't know. I hate labels. I hate all that stuff.
I really hate labels. I gotta tell you guys, like I know a lot of you guys probably followed me for my original content. The people that you will see me surround myself with nowadays, I don't agree with 100% of anything anyone does, but I find my commonalities with them, and I ask myself, could I be around this person? Do they have some sort of, integrity that they stand on that I could handle being around them? But if not, I can't hang around people who look like they have their shit together, who have no foundation. That's just a no-go for me. So some people may have curly hair, may have blue hair, may have fucking weird like piercings all over their face, but if it justifies in their life and they're speaking some sort of sense to me, you will see me talking to them. You'll see me interacting with them. And I'm just, again, I'm kind of off the whole judging bullshit thing. I would judge you based on how you act at this point, not on how you look.
Yeah.
Just to clarify that.
Yeah. Your character is all I'll judge. Like I've said in many other lives that I was a post-civil rights kid, and my parents, they had the Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King pictures and John F. Kennedy. in the living room. So my dad always said, never judge anybody by the color of their skin, but the content of the character. And I've always done that. I don't care whether you're gay, straight, I don't care. As long as you're cool, that's all that matters. And you're a person of character, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm surprised the other girls don't feel awkward about those questions. I think it's just a hustle because, again, they highlight the OnlyFans models most of the time. There's a majority, and they have like one woman, who's actually kind of cool, maybe like Angela or somebody, but everybody else is just like IG models, and it's all for clickbait. And if women really wanted to screw these guys over, just don't go to the shows. If Fresh and Fit and these guys just stop getting women, would you still watch? Probably not. So, I mean, if you really want to screw them over, just don't go. But,
yeah.
But these same women, and Angela's told me this as well, that these same women that go on these shows that they're insulting in the chat and just saying all types of names and just belittling them for like 4 hours, these same guys are messaging them, subscribing to their OnlyFans.
Yep.
And they're simping on them. So it's a hypocrisy. It's idiocy in its finest, man.
It's a cycle. It's literally a cycle. Like, the girls know why they're there. They're there to blow up their subs. They don't care the cost because it's hustle culture. So everyone just only cares about hustling for the dollar. They don't care about how they get the dollar. They don't care about what it takes to get. They don't care who they have to kill, who they have to hurt, what they have to sell, what their family thinks. And they essentially, like, you are making the money you want to make, but like at what cost? And to me, an honest living is really important, because if making money was the only metric in life to be successful or to be a good person, then we would respect, drug dealers. We would respect thieves. We would respect all these people who con their way into society, as the rest of us have to pay taxes. So, I think like we've lost track of what is actually important in life, because everybody just wants to make money because they want to support this unrealistic, materialistic lifestyle, and to keep up with the Jones, to make up for the whack-ass personality that they probably don't have or don't want to develop, because it involves taking accountability, things like that.
Yeah.
So.
And again, I think this will be the last I'll speak to, Hogwood, but it just kind of reinforces the point that people, like, they think, whatever they post and show everybody in social media, that's kind of like a flex. And this is the real me. But you take all those, posts away, you take all that money away, your true character is still there, and it was revealed. And I'm sure there's a lot of others like that out there. And like I said, the more I've spoken with Paul about other things, it's a show. That's all it is. It's all about clicks. It's all about putting trolling tweets. It's all about getting that engagement. It's entertainment. That's all it is. So that's disappointing in a sense, but I get the hustle, and that's probably why I'll never get 1 million subs, is because I won't be outlandish and insulting people left and right. But I don't care. That doesn't matter to me.
Bye-bye, Albert. See you later.
Let's see. Oh, I got a super chat here. Is this Albert? What's MRA? And I know who the true Red Pill Trooper. She was in the Red Pill documentary. You should have her on with Angela. Rude Truth is okay. I'll look her up. I don't know who she is. All right, there you go. Let me ask you this. Now, what do you hope comes from all this? I mean, it's been kind of a crazy, roller coaster ride for you the past 3 weeks. So what do you hope happens? What do you hope to get from all this?
Regarding who? Like people,
yourself.
myself, for me?
Yourself. Like, what do you want? Like, what do you hope you not gain from this, but like, what do you hope comes from this? Because again, people are asking you to be on the shows, and you are doing like, little tours here and there, but what do you hope happens?
Well, for me in specifics, I think like what happened to me and what will continue happening is understanding not to take the forbidden apple, because it's like what cost. So people that are inviting me onto these things, they're not inviting me because they want to hear what I have to say. They want the drama, they want the receipts, they want the tea. And for me, I'm not going to sit here continuously say that this person should do the right thing, and I'm continuously doubling down. I've said my piece. I did what I need to do, and at this point I'm ready to move on, because essentially I'm not online to look for drama. If that was the case, my channel would be a hit channel. I haven't made one fucking like long form content talking about this guy on my specific channel. I've gone to 3 people, you, Tom, and Kyla, and that's literally it, because we've interacted about this topic. But for the most part, I don't circle my channel around drama. Like, it's more so like I want to have these type of open dialogues, and I think it's important to talk about this. And what happened to me just really solidified like my purpose online. I don't care about the extravagant numbers that these other people make, because at what cost are you getting those numbers? You know,
Yeah.
you took the forbidden apple, you bit into that shit. Now you're forced to pander to your little cells of people that are looking for entertainment and validation. But most of the people that I surround myself with are my friends and followers and subscribers. They're independent thinkers. They just want to know that there's other people out there like them. They don't need me to like feed them a dollar. They don't need me to feed them drama. They don't need me to feed them anything. Like I could read their message, leave it open, and go back and reply 2 days later, and there's no fucking harms or anything. Like they don't fucking get triggered by it. So I think it's just like your audience is who you actually are. And it's important to recognize that, because like Pearl, for example, her audience does not match her. Her audience does not match what she actually stands for. But her audience sells what she's like, they buy what she sells. So that's her exchange. So it's just kind of disappointing. But half the time I look at my audience, I like the way they think, and they all come in different ages. You know, they're different, and they have some sort of like thought process they're still trying to develop, and I have to embrace that. And if you're going to shit on them, they're not going to grow. They're just going to go the opposite way.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you a question, because there's one piece that I put out as a reel on TikTok when I was kind of ranting about Pearl. And I've been getting a lot of feedback, and I don't want to say hate, but criticism, saying, hey, like you shouldn't judge somebody because they've never been married or been a wife or been a mother and all that. Just because Pearl hasn't been married and all those other things, that doesn't mean she doesn't know what she's talking about. And my rebuttal to that was like, okay, there's people out there who are knowledgeable about things they've never experienced. I totally get that, right? But there's wisdom when people who actually experience that. That's just my take on it. But there's some people out there who can give great advice. What are your thoughts on that? Like, to that criticism, is it valid, or what do you think? Because again, I forget I'm older and like you're younger, you're engaged, right? Not you haven't experienced all the, but you soon will be. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, two things wrong with that specific picture with Pearl. One, she's not in a relationship, but what she says with relationship doesn't actually logically make sense for a real relationship. So she has too many factors against her for that specific scenario to like, oh, you know, just because she hasn't been in it doesn't mean she doesn't know. Well, she doesn't know, and she hasn't been in it. And what she currently says only fits for this surface entertainment stuff, which is like, you know, the quote unquote high value guys, the ball players, the Drake, you know, the only F girls. And like she herself is in none of those categories, nor will she ever be in a relationship with any of those types of guys. So she's just a walking contradiction of everything, which is why that's a view that I would challenge her on. I get if she looked like an OF girl, if she was like into dating someone like Drake, or if Drake is willing to date her, then what she says somehow would make sense in her ideologies, but it doesn't make sense in any type of way. She's just spewing stuff because it sounds good on paper, and maybe she's just a, you know, an analytics like stats type of person. So stats makes so much sense to her that this plugs in, but like she doesn't fit the stats. Maybe she doesn't realize it.
Yeah, and I get the appeal. Like if I was young and frustrated and didn't have a successful dating life, I would definitely gravitate to somebody who's speaking what I feel. But again, there's coaches that tell you what you need to hear versus what you want to hear. And just like yourself, when you were coaching, I don't know if you're doing that anymore, but there were a few other female coaches that I knew, and they told me, yeah, I got all these appointments, but when I tell the guys to take some accountability, hey, you could drop some weight, you could buy a new wardrobe, you could do something to make your market appeal better, they got defensive and like, no, it's their fault, not mine. They would just not take accountability and own up to what they needed to do to improve their lives. So, yeah, you have to hear some things that are uncomfortable for you guys if you want to evolve.
Yeah, I haven't had that experience, only because I don't advertise that I do offer those type of not courses, but dating advice and stuff like that. Just because the only reason why I even have that is because I do have people that reach out to me. But to me, if you're willing to pay for advice, then you're willing to take the advice. So I don't have to sugarcoat it. I don't have to like, you know, persuade you that you need this. Like if you're willing to pay for it, then obviously if you're paying for things, you want the result. But I'm not doing it to like build a course or anything like that. Like for me, it's just if I'm going to take the time out to explain to you something that I truly understand, then you're going to actually absorb it by paying for it. And if you don't want to pay for it, it's fine. Then you can wait for my Wednesday streams and we could talk about this stuff publicly. I may answer you, I may not. It's the chance you're willing to take. How much do you really want to invest into your answer? So I haven't had that experience, but I also don't overly sell my, you know, my dating stuff online. So there's that.
Okay. Yeah, I've been hesitant to do any courses like that. People have asked me, so I do one-offs, and I do put like appointments are out there if you want. I get a few, but not a lot, and I guess I'm happy about that because I don't know if that's for me. I think it's more like I'm more of a webinar or maybe speaking in front of mass amount of people. That's more my forte, but one-on-one, I don't know. I don't know. I still don't know what I want to do with this whole thing.
Yeah, it's been very strange for me. It's like hit or miss. Like I wish I had the time to sit here and just talk to people in like one-on-ones all day long. I actually enjoy talking to people.
Mhm.
Every now and then, like I have people that I'll just randomly be like, "Hey, do you want to talk this out? Do you want to talk about this?" Like I don't mind doing it at all, but I can't do it on a mass amount, which is why I have to charge people for it. But my main source of income isn't online, so I don't really focus on growing, which I probably should since everyone's like, "Dude, you don't have." Like I just learned how to turn on my super chats. Like I didn't realize that wasn't turned on. And somebody was like, "Why are your super chats turned on?" I was like, "I didn't know, dude. Like, I just thought that people just donate when you want to." And they're like, "You have to turn it on." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry.
Go
I'll
to
do it now."
monetization, enable super chats and super
Like, why is
stickers.
that? Why is that even a thing? If I'm able to monetize, why do I have to turn it on? You should just do it for me. Like, who the fuck would turn it off? Who turns down super chats? Like, this is stupid.
Oh my God. And you've been monetized eligible for like a year now, I think. I don't know. So can you
No, no,
imagine?
no, no. I just hit the mark. Like because I had the thing when I was looking at the bar and it was telling how many watch hours I had and all that stuff, but because I wasn't uploading long form content enough, it was just my shorts. My shorts are the only reason why my channel is where it's at. I want to say that in case anybody thinks otherwise. But the
Mhm.
shorts have made my subscribers grow, which is tricky because they didn't come for the long form content. So now your long form content is competing with your subscribers, and that's the tricky part because now it looks like you bought your subs,
Yep.
which I'm too poor for that. So I don't do that, guys. As much as I want to be like other people in this space and buy my subs, that's something that I can't live up to the lie. So yeah, it's my shorts that's doing all the work for me.
No, I'm glad you said that because again, on TikTok, I have almost 300K followers, right? But none of them come over to the YouTube space. Some do, but TikTok, what it's done, I guess the negative side of that, I guess it does give you exposure and people know you, they'll follow you, but they hardly ever come back. TikTok is not like YouTube where if you have a certain amount of subscribers, every video you put out, you're going to get a certain level of views with each video. That's not the same for TikTok. Sometimes they'll share it with your followers, sometimes they won't. And it's kind of like an empty calorie type of intake. It's just there for fun. Hey, that's great advice, but they'll forget about it after 4 videos scrolling up. So there's not a lot of longing or like a long-term, like a, I guess, investment or gain from that. That's why I stopped posting as much on TikTok and now I'm more on YouTube because I feel this is more in my space. I want long form conversations like this, long form content with solutions because you can only say so much in 30 seconds. You're not going to solve anybody's marriage in 30 seconds on TikTok. You need to have long winded conversations with people. So that's kind of like I guess the negative side of TikTok is that, yeah, you do get exposure, but there's not a lot of money. I make maybe
No,
eight
no.
bucks a month on TikTok.
Yeah,
That
no.
is it.
I think like being a content creator, I have to say like you definitely learn like it is all smoke and mirrors because you think you see these crazy outlandish numbers as like followers, subscribers, you think that equates to money. It never really does. You just have to know
Yeah.
what each platform does. And for me, TikTok has been a great funnel. Like people have
Yeah.
recognized me from TikTok. Like you'll blow up really fast. Will you make money? No. I think what is it? YouTube is where the money is at. I
That's where
just
the big
don't
money.
know.
Yeah.
That's where the money, but I think someone just said you have to do memberships. I don't know how to do the whole membership thing. I'm getting there, guys. I don't really do online stuff like that. I legit enjoy connecting with other people. This is fun for me. I just don't know how to monetize on it, and it hasn't been a priority, but I'll work on it so I can get better at making myself available to these spaces.
Mhm.
But I'm not on Facebook. I think you're on Facebook also. I feel like
Yeah.
but
That
the
blew
crowd
up.
is
Like I said,
weird,
I just
isn't it?
uploaded. It's an older crowd, yeah, but they're very vocal. Like most of the comments are like paragraphs of like stories, but it's also the most monetizable. I made $200 in 1 month on Facebook, and that's like just on Reels. And so the money per view is more on Facebook than compared to TikTok. It's still not a lot of money. You can't quit your job and support a family on 200 a month, but it's there. And just like TikTok, once you're monetized, your audience shrank. I was reaching 250 million
Ah.
people in the month of March. And as soon as I was monetized, it shot down to 2 million.
Why is
So
it? See, that's why I never liked that. That's why I never did the creator fund for TikTok because
mhm,
I heard that's what happens, and it's crazy. That's actually the result of it.
yeah. And they do offer Facebook offers more avenues to make money like during your streams. Like I'm live on Facebook right now. Like there's ads running on Facebook and I get money off those ads on lives and TikTok doesn't offer that. They offer subscriptions, but I mean, it's like subscribers. Like, I don't know what I can offer. Like, somebody says members on your channel. I don't know what to give them. You can be a channel member, but I don't know what to give you for your money. So
Yeah,
I'm like you in that sense. Like, there's ways to do it. I know if I was like 19 years old, I'd be like Markiplier, but I don't have the time to do all that. It's just so
it's not
it
even
takes a
just
lot
the
of your time.
time. It's almost like how genuine could I like sell this idea? Because like you can just like, oh yeah, pay $5 a month, and then you could see me talk shit about somebody after I go on a date with them or something. Like, is that really what you want? Like your community to be about? Like, I don't want my community to be about that. So it's a bit
Yeah.
tricky finding out like what people could pay for and be happy paying for it, and you're happy producing it. Like it's like a happy medium of everything.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I know $200 is not a lot when you say it out loud, but yeah, that's an electric bill. That's a car payment. That's something, or it can go towards some equipment. They always say the money you make best back into your equipment, get new cameras and things like that. So
Yeah. No, you're doing good. 200, that's $200. At least you're making. I'm not even making that on any platform, to be
not even on
honest.
not even on YouTube because I have two friends, not three, Sarah Dawn Moore, but I haven't spoken to her in a while. But two YouTube buddy friends that review movies, and they have over 100K subs. They quit their jobs, and it's a living. They tell me that they get tired sometimes because you have to upload a video almost every day, so you're constantly working, and sometimes they get lost in that responsibility. Like there's movies they don't want to see, but they have to watch it because it's
See,
going to
I
get
don't want it.
clicks.
I don't want it to turn into that. That's my
I
problem because
know, I
because
know.
I actually like doing this. Like I actually like talking because it keeps my mind open and fresh. When things become a job, like when your relationship becomes a job, it becomes boring. It becomes frustrating. It becomes annoying, and you can't grow when you're that annoyed or frustrated. So to me, it's like having, my money in a different category in life, and then this being just something that I enjoy to do. And I think
Yeah.
that's why I'm able to have like these open dialogues and like have open debates because I'm not coming in with this biased point of view because I have to make my rent this month. Like I think that's why it's like helped me get this far.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're going to be fine. You're just starting off right now. Like I told you, like everything that's happened that was supposed to happen. And you're going to be, I don't know if you're going to be hosting a show on Valuetainment. I don't know. You're going to be doing something big. I can
I'm
see it
so
happening.
torn. I'm so torn with Valuetainment at this point because I still
Why?
because the crowd. I think like once he did that collab with Fresh and Fit,
I
he
didn't see that purposely because no,
he
I don't want,
adopted a lot of their crowd, and for me it's like this is not beneficial in any type of way for me to be with this crowd anymore. So again, like I'm just more on the independent thing. Like I think there's this podcast called the Purple Podcast. I think they're in Texas. They
I got to
just
look that
followed
up.
me. Yeah, and they asked me to come on their show, and I told them like I'm not doing panel podcasting. If you want to do like a one-on-one virtual, like I don't mind doing that. But like I don't see like if you actually want to hear what the fuck I have to say, then you wouldn't mind doing a one-on-one debate or virtual because I'm not flying out to these places to be shitted on or to have like a 30-second conversation just for you to get like clicks out of me. Like I'm sorry, I have money to make somewhere else and other people to make happy. So I'm gonna be selfish with my time now. Is essentially what I'm saying. Like big fuck
Fuck
up to
yeah.
everybody, but like I don't really care to like help other people have these disingenuous like ideas of what they think success is. Like figure it out yourself, capitalize on somebody else. Leave me alone. I'm happy with my 12 people.
There you go. It's going to grow. It's growing already. Some people don't even need anything in return for membership. They just really. Well, I haven't had one member yet, but if there are any, more than welcome to, or Angela's channel by all means. Yeah,
That's
that's.
cool.
I don't know if this. Hello, chat, Rudy and guest. I am not familiar with. Give your wonderful guest a. What is that? I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess a high five. Let's just go with a high five there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's the whole valuetainment thing. I did see, again, not to bring it up again, but I did see that he was talking ill about the guest, and that's probably just going to burn bridges. Maybe it won't, but I did hear it was a big thing with valuetainment having Fresh and Fit on. It was live. I didn't watch it. because it's garbage. It's just shit entertainment. So I was like, no, I'm not going to be part of that. But again, I had a friend who was a radio DJ, a disc jockey sports guy here in San Antonio, and he was very offensive. But in real life, he was just a nice guy. He was really, it's just about moving the needle. It's moving the needle. If you're cool and nice, that's not going to move it. You got to say things that piss people off. And he told me that 10 years ago. And I was like, well, I guess that's what they're doing. It's all about moving the needle and getting the clicks and getting the views.
I see. I do believe in that, but I think that that's for like a subsection of people who are looking for entertainment. There's people out there that are looking for solutions. There's people that are just looking for peace or harmony or just some sort of idea that somebody thinks like them. So I know people that drive and listen to boring ass podcasts just because their voice is soothing and they say things that make them feel like they're sitting in the room with them. So not necessarily everything is always about moving the needle. It does exist, but it's not the mass. It's almost like saying like, all girls who live in the cities are hoes. Yes, there are plenty of hoes who live in the city. I do agree, because there's not enough grass in the city for people to be here. So if you're here, you probably like fucking crazy shit. But now, is it all? No. But it's just crazy because I think massively, yes, it does exist, but you have to recognize like moving the needle and essentially just puts you in this like toxic cycle of having to tend to those people for all the wrong reasons. Like, it's not genuine. Like right now I'm able to talk to you and I'm able to like glance over at the chat and talk to them, but also like I don't feel the pressure to just do anything and say anything and be outlandish. So
yeah, and I think people like that genuine conversation, and I think there's a lot of channels out there that maybe not get the traffic, but they do have success, and the people come for knowledge, and just it's a community also, because when you're large enough you start building a community, everyone's kind of like supporting each other. I've seen that firsthand with other channels. So I think that's what people want, like a longing to belong somewhere, that they feel that's their tribe and they're kind of speaking the language. But again, it just depends. Everyone wants something different.
Yeah. And that guy, Chris J. Mize just said that F&F show was ridiculous. Most of the girls in the panel said a whole lot of nothing, basically. And that's another reason why I don't want to go on these panel podcasts anymore, just because, like, I'm sorry, I don't think like I'm the biggest voice in the world, but I am the biggest voice in my world, and my family looks up to me. So if I'm going on these shows, my family's watching, but like I only get to say 3 words. Do you know how frustrating that is? Like they've been watching me every time I've been on FNF or whatever pod, and they're like, you didn't get to talk enough. And yeah, it's just not fair. Like, it's not fair to my followers, my friends, my subscribers that are like, they watch it for me and I barely get to say anything. So for that, I'll be in my own fucking channel, so where I can talk about anything I want on my own terms and not have to fight to speak. Because if I have to fight to speak, all of a sudden I'm masculine. All of a sudden I'm fucking combative. You can't win with these people.
And I know you. And again, I've seen the way you talk. You just know what you want to say, and you're confident in your delivery. That's not masculine. That's just confidence. And it's funny that they confuse that between the two. It's like they want a woman who's very submissive and to shut her mouth. And if you're not in that space, they'll just call you all these outlandish names, which is stupid fucking advice. But it's funny you say that, because Destiny, I know you've worked with him before. I reached out to him. Hopefully I can get him on the podcast, and his wife. I hope that works out. But I've seen him on many shows with Pearl and all the other people we care not to mention, and he'll rip them a new one. He'll go at them, and he'll do a reaction video on something stupid they said, and he'll rip them, but then he'll work with them again. And I was thinking the other day, is this like the WWE, where everybody is just like on in the ring hating each other, but backstage they're buddies and it's just a show? So that's why they continue to work with each other. I'm like, is that the way it is? I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
It is in a weird way, because it's like it gets boring talking to people that already agree with you. Like, there's nothing to talk about. So the biggest thing is there's still rules in war. And as long as people respect them, like, for example, I recognize you have to respect a lot of these rules. Like, you can't, for example, like if you have something to say about his relationship, it should be like, no offense, I don't mean this to you, but you can broadly say it, but you can't take offense to that person, especially if you're jabbing them directly. And a lot of people will say things and they'll generalize it and attack the person that they're actually cool with, and that's really the problem. Like, now we're crossing gray areas and mutual areas, and we're here for respect. At the end of the day, that's the initial thing. If you don't have any respect, you have nothing to stand on. And it's like, everybody knows that we're bumming off each other for content, for for camaraderie, for all these things.
Reactions and all these things.
Yeah, like you
Mhm.
want to have opposing, like you with you and me, it's nice talking to you, but it's boring because we both agree on everything. Like we're always trying to find things that we disagree on, but we
Yeah.
agree on like
We
almost
can't find anything
everything.
we disagree on.
So it's hard. So it's more so just like us taking turns punching the bag. Like that's pretty much our dynamic. But a lot of these people, it's funny because like now I understand how they work, and it's okay to have opposing views as long as you respect each other's opposing views.
Yeah,
So
and like I like what you said with the rules of war on that, because you can say whatever you want about me, but when they start digging up your history, maybe insulting your wife or your kids or your family, that's where it's like slow the fuck down. That's where like you've crossed the line. That's where it should go without saying that that is untouchable. And for some to do that, that's where I'm like, okay, that's just like bullshit. And that if that would happen to me, I don't know what I do, especially if I lived in the same city as that guy.
yeah, I don't know. I think like for me, the evil just rules itself out, and they usually cancel themselves out. Like I used to think it took me to end someone for them to stop the violence, but I don't have to. You're self-destructive. Like I don't have to do that. And that's one thing I've learned. Like I for 2 years, like my uncle taught me how to do martial arts and all that crazy stuff just for defense reason. And like one thing I would come in with rage. I would like come in just swinging. He taught me stand up and jiu-jitsu. And for him it was more so like you're gonna learn how to defend yourself. But I would spend all my energy on fighting, and he would just like kind of resist it. And next thing you know, I've wasted all my energy, and then I'd pretty much get defeated every single time because he understood me. He understood my strategy. He understood how I worked around things. So it's like one thing I've learned, like I must see a lot of people that are full of rage, that are going to be swinging, they're going to be fucking crazy. Let them be crazy because they're going to have to come down to earth for a minute. They're going to have to come up for air. And when they're doing that, they're rather going to be done and realize like, all right, I surrender. Or you can finish them when they're done being a baby, because it's like, I'm not going to fight you when you're your most like hyped, like, enraged energy for what? It's just going to exhaust me. I'm going to exhaust you, and I'm not going to perform at high level. And I like to perform at a good level. So
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Yeah. And when she said earlier that our conversations are kind of boring, I remember saying that like our second get together was like, we get along too damn much. Like there's nothing we disagree on. Like we need to come up with something. I think there was one topic we disagreed on, and it wasn't even all that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So shout out to Jerry for sending another $5. Jerry, you can't just send money. I mean, you can, but like no questions, like
He's
preguntas,
just supporting.
nothing. Shout out to Jerry. Jerry, one day we're gonna have to do a face reveal on this guy. I'm really curious on who he actually is.
Maybe it's a she, right? Oh my god, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
A couple more comments and we'll end the live. I know it's like 1 a.m. in your area, right? Or something?
It's 12:28, but I have to do another call after this because I hopefully need to like. But it's not long. I've been wanting to talk to this person because I think very supportive. So for sure, it's nothing serious though. Like nothing like like I have to go in a live. It's like a private call. So.
All right, real quick. I just want to make an announcement. Tomorrow I'll be live with Nuclear here. He's from Texas, and we're going to talk about modern dating in the Texas area. He's younger than me. I believe he's in his early 30s. So we're going to talk about that. And I know you were on his show not too long ago, so he's going to be on mine tomorrow. And that's going to be a good conversation. So join, subscribe, hit the notifications and all that stuff, and join the conversation. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. First time meeting the guy. So looking forward to that. You're 34. Yeah, no, you're still a young cat, dude. You're in your prime,
looks
dude.
A lot younger than 34. I thought he was like 25, to be really honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to be on there. So yeah. So any final thoughts? I know it's late and all that, but
no, you're good. You're good. No, honestly, shout out to I think I don't know his actual name, but I'm gonna call him Nuke. But I think out of everyone in his space, I don't really know what to call it at this point. He's probably the most chill and I don't know, honest person I've seen so far, which I could appreciate. I don't think there's a lot of people in that space that have some sort of moral compass. So shout out to that. And awesome. I think it forces me to not judge too much people. Again, it constantly reminds me because I don't like the people he associates with directly, but I think he's cool as a person. I liked his performance as a host for his show and his podcast. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Nuke for that. So.
I am a vulnerable.
He's milking the vulnerable card now.
I
Okay.
saw the beginning of that interview. He looked, I don't want to say intimidated when you came on. Like he was nervous, and then he kind of got relaxed a little bit. And I get that, we all get nervous and everything like that. But he looked a little like, oh my God, she's here.
No, I don't think so. I think that I also was very short with him, like 3DMs. Like it's not anything. Like I don't like to be too friendly with people because I think it gives off like a wrong idea about myself. And I like to talk to people face to face. That's just more of my style. Whether I like you, don't like you, it just makes it easier to like really figure out who you are, so you can figure out who I am. But through DMs, you could really misinterpret everything. Why does this guy think I'm angry?
I don't know. AJ, he's one of my most like loyal subscribers to YouTube, so I'm curious why he said that. It's not doesn't sound like his tone. But she's not hurt and she's not angry. I don't know where you get that from, AJ, but no, that's not it. There's been a lot of internet bullshit that's happened the past couple of weeks, but in general, she's not a hateful person, not at all.
Yeah, it's weird that maybe he's just joking or trolling, but it's weird because it's like I'm calmer now than I've ever been. Like you met me when I was at my worst, and I was so like rageful. If you punched me, I'd punch you, kick you, yell at you, publicly, judge you and give you the scarlet letter. And nowadays, I'm like kind of pitying at this point. If it wasn't for the fact that I have to defend why I do what I do, I wouldn't even care to talk about a lot of these things, to be really honest.
And this last one, this will be the last comment here. Not enough good women out there. I have something to say about that, but what do you have to say? Being a woman who is young and engaged. So what are your thoughts on that?
There's a lot of good things in life, and there's a lot of bad things in life. It's not just women. There's not enough good women, quote unquote, because there's not a good men. Also, shopping in the wrong places, the wrong time, with the wrong agenda could be another problem. So I think of it as a grocery store. You walk down the organic section, it's fucking magical. You walk down the regular one, it's gonna fucking suck. You walk down the trashy area, it's all about trash food. So essentially, what are you looking for? Can you afford to be there? Are you there for the right reasons? And that's probably gonna be your experience. So until you're aware of all the defects of your situation and your experience, that's really going to be your main problem. But I think there's great women. I think there's great men. I think there's great everything. It's just, anecdotal. So
where would they be able to find them?
Well, it depends on, like, in my opinion, it's such a tricky question because it's like, if you want a, let's say, quote unquote, good woman, what is a good woman to you? Like, I'd ask you, what do you define as a good woman? If you say, oh, a girl who, isn't tainted by many, who isn't on social media, who isn't, who's focused on, like some sort of hobby or goal. Okay, so fine. That's fine to want. That's your preference. I'd ask, is that what you practice? Is that what you preach? If you're on social media and you want a girl who isn't, that's a bit of a hypocrite. If you want a girl who isn't in the club, but you're always in the bar, another hypocrite. If you want a girl who's like 120 pounds, but you're 250 pounds, that doesn't make any sense. Like, things have to kind of make sense of what you're asking for. And a lot of people, because we have social media nowadays to shop with our eyes, you would assume that you could have it in real life. And shopping with your eyes is essentially what's fucking you over, because you think that you can get these girls, and these girls are liking your photos back, or, like watching your story, or like allowing you to subscribe to their OnlyFans. So you think you have a chance with them, but essentially they're just stringing you in because it's another subscriber for them. So don't confuse these little moments with these girls that you have a chance. And you could have a chance, but do you look like them? Do you look like the type of guys that they would go for? Because average people date other average people. And if you're average and you're trying to punch someone way above your class just because she's a girl who's gotten plenty of work done, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment and failure. So I would also say that.
There you go. I mean, and that's straight from a woman. If I can rebuttal to that, there are plenty of them out there. All the women that I dated that I had a really good relationship with, including my fiance, they all hate social media. They all do. They have profiles, but it's like their family and maybe a couple photos, but they're not constantly on it. So there's women out there that are good women, quality women, beautiful women who hate social media. I met mine through Hinge, but a lot of times I met women organically. Like I said on my live on Monday, somebody said, how do you meet new people? And you know what I did? Since I had no friends, I volunteered at a Comic-Con because I'm a nerd and I wanted to meet my fellow nerds. So I went and put myself out there, and not just to meet women. I wanted to meet people, like other guy friends, make new friends. And I started just talking to people. I went from a gopher guy, and I ended up being Robert Englund, the guy who played Freddy Krueger's assistant for a week. So I kind of just grew through the rankings, and I just made a lot of friends, and I met a lot of women who love what I love. And they love nerdy shit. They love comic book movies. They love horror movies. So that's how I met a lot of people organically. So, and they were all nice, and they were good looking, beautiful women, and they aren't just on social media. So you just got to put your ass out there. Whatever you love, go volunteer somewhere. I don't care where, but just do something. Go out into the world and just talk to people. Make it a goal to talk to 10 people every time you go out, men and women, it doesn't matter. But just get your conversation skills sharpened and learn how to carry one, and just work on yourself, and through that organically something will happen.
I think being a genuine, I know this sounds like such a broad thing to say, but like being genuine is so rare nowadays. It's crazy because it's like people don't believe in that. But like if you go into, I don't know, a job and you expect to get the job, that's the problem. You don't deserve anything. You have to work, you have to earn it. And I think like it's up to you to present yourself in the manner where people see that you're being genuine. And if you're starting these conversations just to start a conversation, women know, just like a man knows that a woman's not just being there just to be like, oh yeah, she's at a bar because she's trying to have a good conversation. No, you're at a bar because you're trying to look for attention. Just be honest. If you wanted to have some alcohol in your system, you could have bought this wine at Publix and sat at home with your friend. We all know why you're here. So don't lie and don't be disingenuous, because it's pretty evident we're all humans. We're a lot more similar than we think, or just our priorities are different in life. But the reality is we do see the things that we do for ourselves and other people. So you can't lie. So just be a genuine person and really don't, and don't lie to yourself and don't lie to others. And I think that really attracts really cool people in your life. If you're attracting a bunch of shitty people, maybe you might just be shitty.
Yeah. And just to piggyback off what Angela said, when you're genuine, women have that thing called intuition, and it fucking works. So it's like, if you're a genuine person, they'll feel that. Yeah. If you're playing a game or playing a persona or acting like something that's not organic, they'll know. They will know. And be yourself. It doesn't care if you think you're going to be nerdy. Just be yourself. They love genuine people. People love genuine people. We love that. In the world of superficial BS, it's nice when you meet a genuine person who loves what they love, and they're confident in telling the world that. So just be yourself, man. I know that's cliche and you hear it all the time, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
And it's the truth. And
if being yourself means that you're a piece of shit, then it's time to work on yourself. There's a reason why I branded myself as Anselmite 2.0, because I was a piece of shit. And I completely acknowledge that version of myself that I don't like that version, but that version of myself made me this version because I didn't like the results I was getting of being that person. So if everybody just worked on their self to be the 2.0 version of yourself, then you start realizing that your results are different. Like it's very different when you're aware that maybe I am a piece of shit. So yeah,
and own up to that. And yes, nerds are the best, and especially women who love heavy metal and horror movies, and the goth ones. Those are the best ones. Heavy metal community is some of the nicest people ever. I don't care what skin color you are. Some of the most genuine people, and girls who love horror movies are the best. That's just my fiance loves horror movies. if I was dating somebody and she says, "Is there blood in this movie?" I don't like blood. I'm like, I'll take you home. We're done.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh God. But if you need to, I guess we'll end the live then, because you need to go, right? I'm tired myself.
Yeah, we're getting kind of old, Rudy.
So whatever. I'm the oldest guy here. I'm 46. I feel great, by the way, but I'm the oldest one here. You got all the energy in the world still. Come on, what are you talking about? 28, right?
Yeah, I'm 28. I gotta prioritize my time. I'm changing my room again. I'm gonna be putting up my little foamy thing. I'm tired of this Miami wall. I'm gonna change everything again. So I have a lot of shit to do this week or this weekend. So this little Miami shit, I'm getting fed up. I miss my little cave that I used to have. Remember when I had the little black styrofoam thingies everywhere? What are those things called? The sound panels? I had the little sound panels.
The first time I remember us doing anything, like the camera didn't work, your internet connection sucked.
Yeah.
And we had there were so many empty spots. But it was like a blue background. But I don't remember the black wall stuff. That must have been before me.
Like wait. Like I started off with that. Like my place in Tampa had that. I don't think I'm gonna redo that look again because I miss it. I honestly like the sound quality better. So
yeah.
But
yeah, whatever you do, you're going to be successful in it. And again, I know this was a last minute thing. I just threw the invite right before I went live and you showed up. So again, love you, friend. You're the best, and you're handling everything the way you're supposed to. I'm proud of you. You showed character, and like I said, you're going to be on some major show soon, and you're going to be fine. And the haters are going to hate. Let them hate.
Oh yeah, we'll let them hate all day long because that's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. But then I meet cool people like you and Jack and other people, Nuke, everyone who's been here, Jerry. Like, shout out to everyone that's been here through this journey. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys have been great. So I can't wait to see where we'll be in this journey. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, good night. Thanks for watching. It was a good 3-hour live. And again, I'll see you next time. I'll be live tomorrow with Mr. Nuclear there. Talk about dating in the South Texas space. So tune in. Latest.
Awesome.